Hey y'all, what is up? I am Rosie and I am here to bring y'all a movie review. The movie that I am reviewing is a 20-year-old movie. I cannot believe this movie has been out that long. But it came out 20 years ago and it's called Monsters Ball. I saw some clips of it on YouTube, I think it was one night last week, and I just got curious about it and so I bought it. I found it for a good price and I bought it. And I watched it the night that I got it, and it was a great film. It was beautifully done. There are sex scenes in it, and they're done as tastefully as you can do a sex scene, I guess. Um, I guess there are no tasteful sex scenes, but those are done as tastefully as a sex scene could be done. That's all I can say. The movie stars Halle Berry as Letitia Musgrove, Billy Bob Thornton as Hank Grotowski, Heath Ledger as Sonny Grotowski, Peter Boyle as Buck Grotowski, Sean P. Diddy Combs as Lawrence Musgrove, Mos Def as Robert Cooper, and Karanji Calhoun as Tyrell Musgrove. Lawrence Musgrove is a condemned prisoner. He's sentenced to the electric chair, I guess, for being a cop killer. I'm not sure. I saw Peter Boyle pasting some, or Buck in the movie, pasting some newspaper clippings about a cop killer in this scrapbook type deal. And so I guess he was a cop killer. And he had a penchant and a very wonderful talent of drawing. He liked to draw people, and Hank and Sonny happened to be the last people that he drew because they are corrections officers. So they sat in a chair and they let him draw them. And it was just heartbreaking because at one point after he drew Sonny, it was like he started having an asthma attack or something. I don't know. It was, or maybe it was like a panic attack. And so Sonny went to his aid. He put his hands on his shoulder, and Hank very calmly told Sonny, "Sit down, just sit down, sit down." And he took over trying to soothe or help Lawrence calm down. And he sat down in the chair and Lawrence was drawing him. And he said that he felt like drawings of people were better than pictures, photos, because it truly takes a human being to capture another human being. And it looked like that kind of struck a chord with Hank in a way. Hank and Sonny were tasked with, well, I guess first of all, I should say that Letitia and Tyrell go to visit Lawrence in prison before he's taken to where the condemned prisoners are taken. And she is fed up with going to the prison. It's been 11 years. She's been living without him, and she's been raising their son alone and doing the best that she could. And she told him, "The only reason I'm here is so you can say goodbye to your son." And so he does that. Now back to what I was saying before. Hank and Sonny are tasked with taking Lawrence to the death chamber. On the way, Sonny gets sick and he throws up. He goes to the bathroom to get himself together. When Hank goes in there and helps strap him down and everything, he goes off to the bathroom where Sonny is, and he goes off. 35 minutes into this movie, I cried twice. I have a weakness for parents who hurt their children. If you heard that sound, it was my computer. I have emails coming in, I don't know why. But yeah, I can't stand to see a parent hurt their child. The first time I cried was when Letitia found out that Tyrell, who is morbidly obese and about 12 years old, he looks like he's about 10 to 12 years old, and she found out that he had candy. He loved to eat. She said he loved to eat. And she found out that he had a chocolate bar because it was on his face. And when she wiped some of the chocolate off his face, she started beating him. She was pissed, and she took him to the scale and said, "You ain't lost no damn weight." And she started beating him and pushed him to the ground. When that baby cried out, when he started crying, I just lost it. Oh man. I didn't like wail or sob or anything, but I was in here crying. I was wiping tears away. They were flowing down my face like a waterfall. The second time I cried was when Hank got pissed off at Sonny and went into the bathroom. And he was pissed off, and he was like, "You messed up that man's last walk. How would you like it if somebody messed up your last walk?" And he started beating him and pushing him, punching him, and Sonny was bleeding. And two men, a black man and a white man, who were also corrections officers, came in and pulled them apart. A white man was holding Sonny back. A black man was holding Billy Bob Thornton's character Hank back. Hank used the N-word. Oh man, it pissed me off so bad to hear that, and also it kind of hurt my feelings because I like Billy Bob Thornton. He seems like a cool dude. And to hear him utter the N-word, I don't care if it was a movie taking place in small town Georgia, you just don't do that, because it seemed to be a movie that was taking place in modern times. The movie came out in 2001. It seemed like it was a 2001 era small town. But Buck and Hank were racists. Hank was raised as a racist, and so that was all he knew, I guess. But Sonny, he didn't seem to ever have been that way. It didn't seem like he knew why he had to be that way. Ryrus Cooper, who is played by Mos Def, had two sons, looked like they were preteens, and they always hung out with Sonny. And Sonny seemed to always talk to them, invite them over, and he seemed to love those boys, much to the chagrin of Buck and Hank. Sonny is not in the movie for long. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to tell what happens. But he's not in the movie for long. Tyrell is also not in the movie for long, and what happens to him is heartbreaking. And it ultimately leads to Letitia and Hank growing close and starting a love affair. They fall in love with each other. At first, when Letitia meets Buck, who is Hank's dad, it was like he made it seem like he was just having sex with her because it was a black woman, because of what he said. I forgot exactly how he put it, so I'm not going to say what it was. But when she left, she was pissed because she felt like they had a connection and that they were in love. He gave her a truck. He gave her his son's truck and everything, had it fixed and washed, and she needed a car, so she took the truck and bought him something. She bought him a gift. It was a hat, a white cowboy hat, and she took it to his house when he wasn't home, but his dad was always home. And so the confrontation with him pissed her off. In the movie, you know that Letitia is losing her house. So when she is finally put out of her house, she lost everything. The only thing she really has is the truck now. And Hank basically comes to her rescue. He takes Buck to an old folks home, and he moves Letitia in. And so, yeah, they're just in love with each other. But ultimately, when he goes out to buy ice cream, she finds out somehow that her son, or no, his son and him probably knew Lawrence, because she finds the pictures of them that he drew, which were his last two portraits. And it put her in a state of shock, but she had nowhere else to go. So she stayed there with him. And he wants to take care of her. Hank wants to take care of her. He fell in love with her. And he wants to take care of her. And so I don't know what we're supposed to derive from the ending. They sit on the back steps and she sees 3 headstones. Probably one for Hank's mom, I'm assuming. One for Hank's mom, one for Sonny, Hank's son, and it looks like probably one for Peter Boyle, Buck. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know if that's what those 3 gravestones are for, but there were 3 in the backyard. So, they sit on the back stoop and they share some ice cream and look at the stars. And that's where the movie ends. And I have to say that despite the use of the N-word in the movie by these white characters, I loved the film. It touched my heart. It made me feel something. It made me think. I smiled at certain points because of Halle Berry and Billy Bob Thornton's chemistry. They had actual chemistry between the two of them. And it was just a beautifully done movie. I just adored it, and I will be watching it again. If you have not watched it, please do so. If you have watched it, do it again, watch it again. This movie has to be watched and talked about, and the issues in the movie, just it probably can help people and open a few eyes, because it was like, despite the fact that Hank was racist starting out, he fell in love with this beautiful black woman who lost everything. She lost her husband, she lost her son, she lost her house, her car, and all she had was this job as a waitress. And he wanted to take care of her. The shackles on his heart that kept him being a racist seemed to melt away, especially after he lost his son. And he became friends with the father of the 2 boys that Sonny was friends with. They seemed to forge a friendship. And that touched my heart as well. So, I don't know, with everything that's going on today, especially with what happened last year, I think that this movie could probably open a few eyes, get some people thinking, and it could definitely maybe not help, but it could show that love is a lot stronger and a lot better than hate. So, yeah, that's what I got out of it. I give the film a 5 stars out of 5. Please watch this movie. You won't regret it. And with that, you guys, I thank you so much for wasting time with me. I love you guys very, very much. Hope to see y'all on the next upload, and bye for now.